ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリン。お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハッピーハッピーハッピー。ハッロロー、お掃除の国のプリンセスマジカルリリーだよ。
Princess of Cleaning Land? What?
このお部屋にお友達がみんなで来てくれるの。ちょっぴり気になる男の子もいて、リリー心臓がはち切れちゃうよ。でもリリー、このお部屋に本当に友達が呼べるの？無理だよね。どうしよう、あと1時間でみんなが来ちゃうよ。落ち着くにゃ。こんな時こそこれまでに覚えたお掃除魔法でお部屋をクリンクリンにするにゃ。上尾市文化プラザのみんな、リリーに力を貸して。
リリーちゃん。
散らばったおもちゃを簡単にきれいに整頓できる魔法、前回習ったのをちゃんと覚えてる？リリーと一緒におさらいしちゃおう。マジカルプリン。
I never understand idol culture. I felt everyone's eyes on me as I walk. I used to hate it, but not so much these days. Deep down, I wanted to wink at every last one of them, but sorry, school rules and all. It'd been a long time since I'd gone to LCSC. I hadn't been over since the decision to add me to Flower High. Despite that, it didn't feel right that I'd only come back when I needed something from them, like today. Well, since I was dropping by, I had to make good use of the opportunity. The LCSC met in an empty classroom near the infirmary. At best, Minobe, Harumiya, and Miss Hinagata would be there. Huh? Wasn't that a guy's voice just now? But I thought the LCSC didn't have any guys. I started to have the strangest feeling, like something new and wonderful was about to happen. Inside, two guys and the girls of the LCSC were sorting through goods from the rummage sale.
こんにちは、お久しぶりです。あ、リリアちゃん。お久しぶりだね。お仕事相変わらず忙しい？おかげさまで日々の多忙を楽しんでいます。
One of the guys was looking at me with confusion, while the other's eyes had grown wide as saucers. We all stared at each other, clearly thinking, "Who are you?" But I could tell from the color of their uniforms that they were juniors. In other words, they were my upperclassmen. Okay. Time to turn up the manners then.
布川さん、紹介するわ。我がシャチホコ部待望の男子部員の2人よ。
はじめまして先輩方。1年の布川リリアです。
リリアってクルスリリア？リリアちゃん？いやマジで、いや本当に。わーわーわー。
What?
クルスってのは芸名なんだって。本名は布川リリアちゃん。
この学校に通ってるって噂は聞いたことあったけど、本当にいたなんて。うわっ、ギャババーン。
アツタくんが壊れた。ひょっとしてクルスリリアの大ファンだったり？
お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリー、小学校の時ずっと見てたっす。
What the hell is a cleaning princess? Oh god.
おお、俺リリアちゃんのずっとファンでした。握手してください。
I was very happy to hear he knew me, so I had to reward him for his enthusiasm.
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリン。お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー。
He jumped up and down with excitement while making all sorts of bizarre noises. I used to think people like him were creepy and disrespectful, but eventually I realized it was because of people like him that I could shine on.
マジカルリリーが俺の名前を呼んでくれた。グレート。
He was practically foaming at the mouth with joy. I was so glad. It was always best to give these types what they wanted.
布川さんって芸能人なんだ。
Hmm?
知らない？昔テレビでやってたお掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーって。
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリン。知らねえのかよ、鈴原。
テレビはあんまり見ないから。
Oh no! グレート鈴原たる者がマジカルリリーを知らないとは。I'm great!
I had a hard time dealing with people who didn't watch a lot of TV, but within each one of them lay a potential fan, and converting them required steady effort. Perfect. I'd pull out all the stops and make him fall for my charms.
こんにちは、お兄ちゃん。クルスリリアです。
Yikes.
お兄ちゃんのお名前教えてほしいな。
鈴原進だよ。よろしくね。クルスさん。
What? The moment our eyes met, it was as though someone had turned the lights out on the whole world. The two of us were alone in a dark world, full of falling black snow. It felt like we were the only ones there. I'd never felt this way meeting another person before. It took all I had to hide my bewilderment. But Suzuhara's bright smile never faded. Could he not see this world? Or was it because he could see it? What?
君は誰？
I just told him my name was Riria Kurusu. So what did he mean by that? Was it a philosophical question? Or was there malice behind it? However, his eyes bore no ill will. It was downright unnerving in this quiet world of black snow.
クルスリリアはお仕事の時の名前なの。学校では布川リリアって名前なんだ。
I tried matching his vibe to the best of my abilities, but the look on his face didn't change in the slightest, and for some reason, that hurt me more than anything. No, hold on. Why was I getting so worked up over a single greeting?
布川が本名で、クルスは芸名なんです。紛らわしかったら、リリアと呼んでいただけると嬉しいです。鈴原先輩。
What? Why?
わかったよ。
ありがとうございます。
君は不思議な子だね。
What? Those words were way beyond hurtful and were enough to make me feel downright insecure.
さっき言ってたフラワーハイスクールって何？
リリアちゃんが入った アイドルユニットの名前だよ。
ハイスクールって言うから学校だと思ってたよ。
高校生だけのアイドルユニットなんだって。
高校教師はその枠には入らないのかしら。
今は小学生アイドルユニットまであるくらいだし。
What? Elementary school idol?
今はライブハウスがメインです。武道館もいつか行きたいですね。
秋葉娘とか桃色組エースとかなら聞いたことあるよ。
Akiba Musume. Those ones were the big leagues. We didn't begin to measure up to them. People who only knew basic stuff like that really did get on my nerves. But even so, I couldn't slack on my effort to convert people like that into fans. I would make Suzumu Suzuhara fall for me if it was the last thing I did. Ooh, bad omen.
つまり秋葉娘とかに比べたらそこまでは人気ないってこと？
Ugh.
最初から大人気のとこなんかありませんよ。今はみんな無名からスタートして口コミで成り上がってく時代なんです。でっかい資本がバックについていきなりビッグに売り出すなんて、そんな昭和の時代の話をされても困るんです。何なのあの人。
My head remained a foggy haze even after I took a shower.
私のルックスを見て一般人だと思う？オーラが違うでしょ、オーラが。
Oh, what? I was some nobody's aura?
だいたいテレビを見ないなんて今時そんな。
Me, I didn't watch TV. I tried hating him. Since I didn't understand how I felt about Suzumu Suzuhara, I first attempted to interpret it as hate. But that wasn't it. For when I did, I was reminded of those pure and untainted eyes piercing right through me. I felt like I was going to get sucked into them by the memory alone.
じゃあ恋なの？松田先輩みたいに。私を知る人はみんな熱狂的な反応を見せてくれる。実は私はそれに飽き飽きしていて、彼の反応がむしろ私には心地よかったとか。
Yes, maybe.
そんなわけない。だって私ムカついてるし。
No matter how hot or cold I made this shower, he just refused to vacate my mind. I didn't understand. If this wasn't love or hate, then what was it? His face kept coming back into my mind's eye, almost like a photo burns into my brain. Obsession? I dried my hair as I looked at myself in the mirror. Staring back at me was Riria Kurusu. Yet it felt like it was Suzumu Suzuhara instead.
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリン。お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー。
ハッピーハッピーハッピーリリーちゃん。
みんなの心クリンクリンしちゃうぞ。
I was just a great schooler, but I overcome everything in my path and put myself in the forefront of everyone's mind. Great schooler, oh god. I was determined to build my fan base, and once they were my fans, I'd make them love me more and more. I did everything I could and thought of how I could go even further. And that's what made me so perfect as the cleaning princess. Lily is my wife. No one can take her away from me. Oh god. Lily is like an angel. Why I wouldn't give to be in her class? 10th birthday? Tragic news. Adult fans buy up all the Cleaning Princess show ticket, leaving none for the kids. I wasn't Rira Kurusu, but Magical Lily. A magical princess from Cleaning Land. I was the perfect idol, loved by fans, both young and old. I had reached perfection when I was in grade school. What? Our magical Lily has fallen from grace. Too tall? Lily used to be my little angel. Now she's a total hack. What? Just look at her, she's definitely been around. The Lily we knew would have never been such a slut. My father is a tall and handsome man, and I used to be proud of that. Until I learned I'd inherit those genes, that is. What? In the latter years of grade school, I started going through a major growth spurt. My adorable petite frame, adored by so many, transformed in the blink. Sorry. My adorable petite frame, adored by so many, transformed in a blink of an eye. Whenever I look into a mirror, I felt like I was watching myself turn into a monster. What? I sang and danced my heart out. What? She's so pretty. What the hell? What the hell are you talking about? The person I saw in the mirror was no longer Cleaning Princess Magical Lily. Ububa! Stop! It was a tall creature with disgustingly bulging breasts. Not a trace of pixie-like feature remained in her face, eyes, or mouth.
お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー。
君は誰？
私はお掃除の国からやってきたマジカルリリー。
君は誰？
だからマジカルリリー。
誰？君は。
The figure of a person questioned me as we stood in the world of black snow that steadily built up like soot. It was him, the shadow that had haunted me ever since I saw him in my dreams.
鈴原先輩。
君は誰？
分かってますよ。もうとっくにマジカルリリーなんかじゃないですよ。私だっていっぱい悩んだんです。化け物みたいになっていくこの体が恨めしかった。
Hideous monster? Which one? Have you seen Mirror? Oh my god. Okay, well, it's okay lah.
私はとっくにマジカルリリーじゃない。
Okay, I've
じ
got
ゃあ
my
お
coffee.
掃除をしてる感じの何枚かいただきましょうか。
Oh yeah, this one. Cleaning Princess. Yeah, Cleaning Princess.
お掃除ってこんな感じかしら。ピカピカマジックでクリーンクリーン。どう？リリア、あなたの心をハピハピにできてる？
いいねいいね。
People are lolicon, it seems.
あの可愛らしくて清純なお掃除プリンセスも女子高生になって色気が増してグ
Oh
ッ
no.
とくるね。
Oh no.
そんなことないよ。それはおじさんの心が汚れてるからだよ。お掃除マジックでおじさんの汚れたハートクリンクリンしちゃうぞ。
No man could resist my well-trained charms.
私もおじさんの汚れたハートクリンクリンしちゃうぞ。カメラマンさんたちも思わず脳説美魔女アイドル電撃デビュー。悪いけれど布川さん、私たちは今日からライバルよ。
I'm liking this teacher character so far. I mean, like, from what I've seen so far, it seems like a very fun teacher. She seems like a very fun teacher. But I know this is Ryuki's work, so I knew there's something wrong with her. Older Onesan type is always wrong in Ryuki's work.
ハマユンは自分のハートをたわしか何かでクリンクリンした方がいいよ。やっぱリリアちゃんは可愛いね。境内を吐いてるだけですっごい絵になるよ。まあそこはさすがだよね。ほら男子というかなっち、ふぬけてないで仕事をして。
あのマジカルリリーと一緒にクリンクリンができるなんて。わー、グーライトー。
ナツくん、あんまり賑やかにしちゃお仕事の邪魔だよ。
Susuhara seemed cool as always. I was happy. Atsuta was fired up as always, of course. But I'd be even happier if I could get Susuhara to act the same. Our eyes happened to meet during the photo shoot. When they did, I remembered the strange dream I'd had the night before. Even after I woke up, I still couldn't get him out of my head. And for some reason, it felt like he was the only one watching me grow. Grow? What? I'd never been in love before, but I was sure this had to be something like love at first sight. Or was it more like watching a shooting star I'd wished on? Interesting. Again, so I think that every girl thinking like this about Susuhara. Was I hoping that I could make it big if I earned Susuhara's recognition? Whatever the case, I didn't understand why he was such a large presence in my mind when we'd barely spoken to each other. I get it. I knew there was no point in thinking about it. After all, there doesn't have to be a reason for destiny. Destiny?
マジカルリリーも高校生になったわけだけどさ。
はい。
気になる人なんかできちゃったりとかする？あれ？考えちゃう？ひょっとしていたりしちゃう？
I glanced at him. Everyone else was watching me, yet he just kept on cleaning in silence. My blood boiled over the irritation. I was doing this interview in front of people to prove to him just how different I was from most people. Of course, I wasn't foolish enough to expect him to understand my appeal so easily either.
気になる人というか、振り返らせたいなって思う人はいます。
おお、それは誰？
誰？俺かな？
Come on, dude. The second half of the interview concluded with mostly pointless chit-chat. I didn't have time for that sort of thing but played along anyways. I said my goodbyes to the crew at the shrine's archway. I bowed my head until they faded away into the crowds of the shopping district.
みんなはどこかな？
Ooh, is it creepy time? Creepy time. They left halfway through to give me some privacy. But when I look around, I didn't see them anywhere. Just the elderly people who'd come to pray.
私を置いて解散しちゃうわけないよね。
I had to find them. Iwaihime Shrine was a relatively large and well-kept place. Vast crowds would always gather here on New Year's. and since it was right at the end of the shopping district, you could always find plenty of devout senior citizens about. There were places where you could buy amulets or draw your fortunes. I'd done my fair share of the latter in my past. Well, to put it more mysteriously, that was all just the shrine's outward face. Deeper, there lurked other secrets. The local knew Iwaihime Shrine as one of the biggest shrines in the region, but it had another side, best known over the internet to curious teenagers all across Japan. What? The Doll Memorial Hall. This was the reason for the shrine's wider fame. It was said that old dolls carried spirits within them. Sometimes, people find themselves reluctant to throw them in the trash when the time came to get rid of them. So instead, they would hold memorial services for them and leave them here. What? So creepy.
あんまり近寄りたいとこじゃないかも。
The Doll Memorial Hall was filled with rows of dolls all as far as the eye could see. Most of them were Japanese dolls. Seeing just one of those in a dark room would be scary enough. So when so many of them are gathered in one location, it makes it look like kind of an occult hotspot. Yes, it does. Yes, it it really do. I wondered just how many there were. Hundreds? No, it could even be thousands. Thousands? Are you sure? Either way, having all those soulless eyes staring at you made the hall feel like no place for the living to tread. Once, a user on a certain occult forum had reported that when they prayed at this shrine for a curse on a hated enemy, that wish had been granted. The place had had some cash ever seen. If you made top 10 list of Japanese occult hotspots, then this place would be on every single one. Whoa! Just then, one of the dolls suddenly became as big as a human and stood up on its own 2 feet. She was in her priestess garb, yet she still held the same creepy doll as always. She wouldn't let it go even at school. But in this place, it only seemed natural for it to be in her arms.
シャチホコ部の人見ませんでしたか？ススハラ先輩は見てませんか？私の愛しい愛しいダーリンなんですけど。
Oh no! Oh no! Red alert! Red alert! Kurokami had her usual depressing look on her face, so I tried joking around, but as expected, she didn't play along.
ダメ。
Huh?
は？
汚れてるから。
What?
あいつには近寄るの。
Curious.
はい？
Kurokami ignored me and left. What in the world was her deal? I was irritated, but didn't feel the slightest desire to have her look at me, unlike Susuhara.
私たち黒髪先輩の家を掃除してんですから。ちょっとくらいは感謝してくれてもいいんじゃないですか？
I didn't expect her to hear my grumbling, of course. Toei Kurokami was the only daughter of the shrine's head priest. I heard she was basically never at school, possibly because she knew she was just going to take over her family's trade anyway. What's her family trade? This shrine? Okay. The Kurokami family owned a lot of land in the mountains. They were wealthy and well respected in the area. So perhaps she's transcended simple worldly emotions long ago. Hmm?
私とは縁のない先輩よね。
布川さん
I jumped with surprise. Susuhara was standing beside the hall, broom in hand. Oh no, I hope he didn't hear me badmouth Kurokami. Ugh, I'm the worst.
終わったの取材。
ある意味とっくに終わってました。最後の方は世間話に相槌を打ってただけですし。
そう。お疲れ様。
Calm as ever. Most people will react in some way to a statement like that. Though I'd say the way he could coolly defy expectation like that was one of his good points. Normally, I'd be straight up offended by his curt behavior. Yet at that moment, I found it refreshing and comforting.
私、実はちょっとした願掛けをしてるんです。とある私に興味のない人をファンにできたなら、新しい私はきっと成功できるって。
Really? He made a vague reply without even looking in my direction. He was really cold. It was seriously starting to tick me off. Yet all I could think about was getting him to look my way. So much so that I didn't care what had triggered this feeling anymore. I wondered if I should just go ahead and accept it as love. This has to be love at first sight.
と先輩を振り向かせてみせますから。
できるのなら期待しているよ。
He didn't even bother turning my way. I couldn't stand it. Like Susuara seems different with other girls. In this chapter, he act a little different from when he act with Minobe, I think. Yeah, Minobe.
リリアちゃんさ、
はい。
Susuhara finally turned to face me, but I froze when I saw the look in his eyes. I'd never seen such a cold gaze before.
新しい自分は成功してると思う？
And just as I questioned it, I think this is not Susuhara.
大成功とまでは言いませんけど、まずはいい出だしじゃないかと。
取材。僕も少し耳を傾けてたけど。
Suzumi, what are you talking about?
来てた人、君のことを高校生になったマジカルリリーとしか思ってなかったよね。
This girl has already enough issue about her personality. Don't make her doubt it even more, Suzumu. I was rendered speechless, but deep down I realized the same thing. It simply put it into words before I process it.
リリアちゃんはマジカルリリーを卒業して布川リリアに、あれクルスリリアだったっけ？ごめんね、こんがらがっちゃう。
Fuck you, Suzumu.
どっちでもいいです。
マジカルリリーを卒業してクルスリリアになりたいのか、それとも高校生になってもマジカルリリーを愛してほしいのか。
Who are you, her psychiater?
僕にはどっちがどっちなのか。
Stop.
夏くんにかつての君の姿を見せてもらったよ。
Oh no, stop.
どうでしたか？
可愛らしかったよ。まさにお掃除の国のプリンセス。とてもとても 愛くるしかったよ。
A wave of triumph welled in me, but that sense of vindication burned away in the face of Suzuhara's chilling expression.
みじんもないよ。今の君にリリーの可愛らしさなんてみじんもあるものか。
His words and icy stare were like a dagger to my heart.
夏くんも人がいいよね。リリーのファンなのに君を見て絶望しないんだから。あの頃の天使のような可愛らしさと比べたら今の君はどう？気持ち悪く伸びた足、
What?
いびつで武骨な腕。天使の瞳はかけらもない。可愛らしかった鼻はどこへ行ったの？ブクブクと肥えて脂肪でパンパンになった胸、お尻。清純な天使だったリリーの面影なんて今の君には。僕は幸いにもマジカルリリーのファンじゃないけれど、もしファンだったら嘆いただろうね。あの儚く清純だったマジカルリリーがこんな豚の化け物みたいな姿になってなお自分をリリーだと言い続けることにね。
What? It felt like my whole world had shattered into pieces, like a mirror.
マジカルリリーじゃなくクルスリリアとして本当に生まれ変わると誓います。
Suzuhara smiled when I announced my decision.
リリアちゃん。
His voice came from behind me. I turned around to find Suzuhara standing there. What? Then who had I been talking to? Then I finally noticed. I was standing all alone in front of the hall, with the countless dolls as my only onlookers. And Suzuhara had just called out to me from behind.
どうしたの？
どうしたって私今先輩と話してましたよね。
話してるんじゃないかな。
Suzuhara looked confused. It seemed he really didn't have a clue what I was talking about. Then who in the world was that? I thought I was talking to Suzuhara, but I was actually all alone this whole time?
具合悪いの？
いえ、まあその私昔からぼんやりしてると変な白チュームとか見ちゃう体質らしいんです。
Several other rival units came to the stage after. Flower High left the stage after announcing my debut and our new song to commemorate it. We took a short break before we had to head for our booth. Helping sell our single and shaking the customer's hand were both very important jobs. A customer could shake the hand of one member per purchased CD. The agency was counting the exact number we each got, of course, which would influence who took center position. Well, I already had a sense for the hierarchy. I wasn't naive. I knew it would be an uphill struggle. I had to work hard to keep my smile up and remember the faces of everyone who shook my hand. It would all be over if they started thinking I was rude or arrogant. I had to treat them like kings, so I could attract the other members' fans one by one by one.
お買い上げありがとうございます。お買い上げありがとうございます。握手は誰をご指名でしょうか。
リリーちゃんでお願いします。
はーい。リ
れてありがとう、お兄ちゃん。
Holy shit. A little girl ran in from behind. It was me, Lily. Cleaning Princess, Magical Lily.
リリーちゃん、昔からずっと応援しておりましたぞ。
Oh shit. Oh shit.
ありがとう、お兄ちゃん。リリー嬉しいよ。
リリーちゃんのことネットでは劣化したとかなんとか言ってる輩もおりますが、僕の中ではマジカルリリーの輝きは永遠ですぞ。
Goodbye. Magical Lily's a total hack after 3 years. My waifu. Who do Magical Lily's fans even think they are? Lily's totally out of place. She looked really pissed off too. Who's she? What she's even doing in Flower's Hike? Her dancing was totally out of sync. Who the hell's that She-Hulk? They should just kick her out already.
ネットは荒れてるみたいですけど、僕はずっとマジカルリリーを応援してますからね。リリーちゃんがどんなに変わっちゃっても僕の愛は変わりません。劣化とかオワコンとか言われてますけど、そんなの気にしちゃダメですよ。
What the hell? Why should you say that? More people were asking for Magical Lily, but no one asked for Lilia Kurusu.
大忙しで参っちゃうね。そこ、私の場所。どいてよ、劣化ババア。
Get out of the way, you wash up old hag.
あんたお掃除の国のプリンセス、マジカルリリーです。あなたのハートをクリンクリン。そしてあんたはかつて私だった残骸ね。残骸。あんたね、見てよ、私の体。みんなが夢に見る理想の妹。キュートで可愛くてちょっぴり小悪魔。抱きしめたら折れちゃいそうなくらいに華奢だけど、そうせずにはいられないほどに愛くるしい。
I knew those words. I had said them all in my head long ago.
それに比べてあんたのその体は何？化け物。痛い。マジカルリリーは永遠のお姫様なの。あんたなんかどっかに行っちゃえ。汚い化け物。ピカピカマジックでクリンクリン。最初から苦しまなかったです。
そうだよね。
By no means did I hate Magical Lily. She brought me to the height of my popularity, the manifestation of the first and last stroke of luck in my life. I didn't want to let go of her if I didn't have to. What I really wanted was to stay as Magical Lily forever.
なのに体はどんどんこんな醜い姿に。ブクブクブクブク脂肪がついて、胸もお尻もこんなに醜くなって。私だってこんな体にならなきゃずっとリリーでいたかった。
正直に言えたね。偉いよ、リリア。
That was the first time he'd said my name so tenderly. It felt so good, like we'd grown closer than ever before. I felt tears rain down my cheeks.
マジカルリリーには戻れない。応援してくれたみんなが劣化だのババア化だのノッポだの。だから私はクルスリリアに生まれ変わらなければならないのよ。
戻れる方法があるとしたら、リリアは試してみたい？
No. No. It didn't sound like he was just spouting nonsense then. I knew that if it were possible, I wanted to do it more than anything. That's right. He must have been waiting for me to say that.
それは
君は信じてくれるかな？いや、いくらなんでも無理だよね。
何ですか？もったいぶらないで見せてください。
He took something out of his pocket and showed it to me. It was a small black bottle. Is it a soot? Is that soot? No, I only thought it was black bottle. Upon closer inspection, I realized it was the contents that were. They sway back and forth when Susuhara shook the bottle. Fine grains, like sand in an hourglass.
何ですか？それ。
インドのずっと北の少数部族に伝わるとても珍しい薬草の粉末なんだ。その部族では知恵者である長老を延命させるためにある飛薬を使っていたんだって。
What the hell? Oh. What the hell? Is it drug? Is it heroin? Is this how celebrity got hooked up on drugs? I hadn't felt anything when I applied it into my skin, but this time I immediately felt dizzy. I ignored it and continued to inhale, and before long I felt a heat building up in me as though my chest were on fire. I was a bit dazed, like when you spend too much time in a bath. Not even the spiced sake I'd had for New Year's made me feel like this. Susuhara was right to say this had a lot more kick if just inhaling a little was enough to cause all this. By the time I finished taking the entire dose, my body was burning up so badly I wanted to throw my clothes off. Well, don't. He told me that was a sign my cells were working to make me younger. Even after I went to bed and closed my eyes, the fire in my chest didn't fade. Quite the opposite. I felt aches indifferent from the pounding of my heart, along with something coursing through my body. It was like I had a swarm of worms crawling through my lymph nodes and blood vessels. Normally, I'd be disgusted by the sensation, but I saw it as a sign my body was trying to turn young. By the next morning, I couldn't get out of bed anymore. I had a high fever, my body was swollen, and my joint ached. My mother said it was probably a cold and scolded me for going too far on my nightly walks. But I couldn't afford to stop my secret meetings with Susuhara. There was a precise dosage and so on involved, so I couldn't take it without his instructions. I had to keep this going until I got my magical Lily's body back. I stayed in bed with a high fever throughout the day, snuck out when I was feeling a little better at night, and had Susuhara give me the medicine. This routine went on several days. My parents told me to go to hospital, but I didn't want doctor to order me to stop, so I skipped in secret. My face in the mirror looked haggard. However, I was convinced with this was part of the process of destroying my monstrous body from within. And then, 1 week had passed since I started taking the medicine. By this point, I was starting to get vertigo in addition to high fevers, and it was a struggle just to get out of bed. I figured my parents would call an ambulance if I made it fast, so I put up with it all no matter how hard it got. Once my rendezvous time with Susuhara drew near, I forced myself up despite all the pain. My fever was so bad that day I could barely move, but my phone was beeping to let me know the time to meet Suzuhara had come, and so I hurried onward. I had started seeing the world as mushy and distorted. It felt like it was pulsating from time to time. I couldn't even tell if I was walking on my own 2 feet or if I was rolling about while still asleep. Even the handrail by the stair I'd grown so accustomed to warp in my eyes. Even the handrail by the stairs I'd grown so accustomed to warp in my eyes, and so it took a lot of effort to get down the stair without falling. Fortunately, my parents didn't notice, and I managed to get outside. Fortunately, an odd choice of words, isn't it? I'd have been much more fortunate if I just collapsed then and there.
早く戻って先輩に一番可愛かった時の姿を私いつ戻れるんですか。もうクルス・リリアという海は出尽くしたと思います。いつリリーの体になれるんですか。
これから始まるよ。感じないかな。
I didn't notice because it was so faint, but I did indeed feel my body changing. My joints and blood vessels were throbbing.
君はこれからさなぎになるんだ。
さなぎ。
そして生まれ変わって帰ってくるんだよ。
He was right. Though my body felt like it was melting on the inside, my skin felt dry and bulky. So that was it. I was becoming a chrysalis. Suzuhara sounded surprised. What? I looked around and noticed that the room had gone dark at some point, and that there were multiple red lights shining there. Those pinpricks in the darkness were all focused on their prey. They had Suzuhara surrounded. I couldn't even begin to count how many there were.
なんだこいつらは。
Suzuhara sounded panicked for the first time ever. I thought the impression something terrifying was happening, but the haze in my head prevented me from connecting to it. The countless eyes shining in the darkness walked forward. Revealing their true forms. They were Japanese dolls. The dolls shuffled and charged at Suzuhara as though to devour him. What is happening? Suzuhara's voice sounded distorted again, perhaps all death cries do. He started screaming, and I heard what sounded like thick leather being torn to pieces. The dolls were tearing off his skin. Something repulsive that I couldn't possibly imagine where his inner squirm in his place. At that moment, I finally understood that this thing wasn't Suzuhara, just something that'd been pretending to be him. I must have been taking advantage of my weakness and donned the form of my beloved Suzuhara in order to approach me. The dolls gnawed into the mother's bleeding flesh and entrails and dragged them out. The faces were hovering as they changed into a pile of guts which massed before the dolls. And when I saw that, I came into one epiphany. That thing had tricked me. It could never turn back the biological clock. I totally bought into its story and just did whatever it told me. No, but then, did that mean I wouldn't get back my old body? If so, then what was the point of losing Riria Kurusu? No, I was going to turn into a chrysalis, and when I woke up, I'd be Lily again. The room around me had changed before I even knew it. It was white as angel's feathers. No, this wasn't my room. Where was I? My body felt funny. My skin was stiff and aching. It hurt when I moved my arm. It was only natural. After all, there was a thick needle connected to a tube stuck into it. An IV was dripping from the other end. So this was a hospital then. I felt something large lying next to my head. When I turned to look, I was surprised to find a Japanese doll there. It was a new beautiful doll that been well groomed. It made sense. No wonder I had weird dreams with this thing in my bed.
心臓潰れるかと思いました。
Kurokami had been standing next to my bed the whole time, watching me. I was surprised, but the pain, fatigue, and disorientation I felt far outweighed that.
ここはどこでしょう。
病院。
Perhaps I should have been more surprised I was holding an intelligible conversation with Kurokami.
この人形、まさかお見舞いのつもりですか。
そのままにしておいて。
結構です。お人形さんと添い寝はとっくに卒業してますんで。
I tried to push the doll away, but even the slightest movement filled me with sharp pain. It seemed it'd be easiest on me if I just lay there and did nothing, like that doll.
どうして私は病院なんかに。
お前はもう死ぬから。
What?
だから言った。あいつは汚れてるから近寄るなと。
What?
だったら僕にも近づかない方がいいかもね。僕も汚れてるそうだから。
どうして先輩が汚れてるんですか。
さあね。でもさっきやった黒髪さんが僕にそう言うんだ。僕は汚れているから二度と近づくな。不幸が訪れるって。
わけわかんない。なんで鈴原先輩に近づいちゃいけないんですか。
あれはすすにまみれてる。
What? Smeared in soot?
は
I'm sorry, what?
私たちを惑わす呪いはすすを求めるから。
The curse seeks soot, so it deceives us. What? Us?
わけわかんない上に余計なお世話です。私のことはどう言おうと勝手ですけど、先輩の悪口はやめてください。
それが呪い。
はあ。
What?
私たちはあれのすすに惹かれる。
Okay. We are attracted to his suit? What?
お前とてなぜあれに惹かれるのか 理由などわからぬはずだ。
Okay. What was she going on about? My body hurt, my mind was a daze, and I could barely move. Yet she had the gall to put the creepy doll next to me and start spouting nonsense. What was wrong with her?
何を言ってんのかわかりませんが、あなたと話すと疲れます。誰か呼んでくれませんか。喉が渇きました。
お前の母親が下にいた 呼べば喜んで飛んでくるだろう。
それとこの気持ち悪い人形持って帰ってください。
Intense pain accompanied me. My intense pain accompanied me. La la la. Intense pain accompanied my attempt to move. It felt like my whole body was shattering apart. But I didn't want to see this creepy thing a second longer, so I fought hard to pick it up. However, the pain was so great that I ended up dropping it on the floor. Oh no! The table! It's broken! And at that precise moment, I blacked out.
いらないなら持って帰るけど、あんたの寿命がそれで終わるだけ。
What? Before I knew it, the doll I dropped to the floor was being pressed into my chest. What? It seemed that I'd only been unconscious for as long as the doll had been away from me. Huh? But my condition was clearly worse than before. The sense of swelling in my abdomen I'd managed to ignore earlier was now overwhelming me.
嘘でしょ。
I couldn't even stay conscious without having this creepy doll at my side. Oh, right. I was just becoming a chrysalis. That had to be why I was feeling so terrible. But that also meant I'd soon be reborn.
お前は死ぬ。
どうも。
しかしそれも定めかもしれぬ。そして解放でもあるやもしれぬ。
何を言ってるかさっぱりです。
さようなら、布川の娘。死ぬことが許されたお前が羨ましい。
これで私の話は終わりです。
I didn't know what to say. Who in the world was the me she kept meeting night after night? I hadn't even seen her once since the day of the concert. I'd gone looking for her group's booth to say hi to her, but in the end, neither Natsu nor I could find it. What? Oh no, from the very beginning. I hadn't spoken to her since the day she gave me the ticket at the shrine, but I didn't know if I should tell her that, because I wanted to believe her. However, she was probably in critical condition because that thing that possessed me. So all I could do was hang my head, dumbfounded.
先輩からすればわけのわからないめちゃくちゃな話だと思います。でも私だって話してて思いました。なんてわけのわからない話。そもそもなんで私の頭の中が先輩のことでいっぱいなのかさえ私にはわからないんです。どうして私はあなたのことがこんなにも。
I couldn't tell her. It was a mystery to us both. Why was it she took such a liking to me? We were attracted to his suit. That was what Kurokami had said. According to Nunokawa, she also said this. The curse seeks soot, so it deceives us. That's the curse.
僕が呪われていると。
そんな風なことを言ってましたね。本当に失礼ですよね。
I didn't recall getting cursed, but I remembered what Kurokami had told me at the shrine. You're corrupted. Just who was Toe Kurokami, and what did she know? And why was it she weighed so heavily on my mind? My feelings for her sounded a lot like Riria's for me. That's right. An attraction without any solid basis. That's right. Oh. Was that the curse?
すみません。急に呼びつけて、こんなわけのわからない話を聞かせて。
僕に何かできることはある？
はい。だから呼んだんです。もし本当に私が若返るなら、その姿を先輩に見てほしいんです。私わかるんです。もうすぐ私というさなぎが帰るって。
それを見届ければいいんだね。
はい。そしてもしそれがとても魅力的だったなら、どうか私を認めると声をかけてくれませんか？もうすぐだから。
大丈夫？今誰かに。
呼ばないで。先輩だけが見て。ふと
No.
めくって。
I have enough of body horror.
体を
I can't stand body horror. By the way, do you remember the scene from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the second movie, when the two criminals become giant monster? That was terrible. I freaking scream if that happened to me and my body. Pulling back a girl's cover felt the same as taking off her clothes, so I was a bit reluctant, but I fulfilled her wish. I gasped. Her body was so...
綺麗だよ。
嘘。今はさなぎだからみっともない姿だと。
Indeed, she looked just like a chrysalis, an insect's pupa. Was what she dreamed of truly lying inside there? I'm hoping for that. Just seemed so. Keeping my thoughts from showing on my face was harder than anything else. She believed her most beautiful self was resting inside her. But it was just too difficult to imagine what her ideal was. When it was already difficult enough as it was to look at that. Despite that, I lied.
みっともなくなんかないよ。リリアちゃんの綺麗な体だよ。
ありがとう先輩。
God, I hate the expression, no! Just then, it shook and she started moaning in agony. I heard what sounded like wood cracking. Oh no. It was the sound of the head of the doll snapping off. And then, as if that were the signal, the time finally came.
そして可愛かったら素敵だったらそうだってそれはクルス・リリアとして聞きたいから
A muddy muck like pitch black blood, like amniotic fluid, spewed out of the tear in her stomach and scattered everywhere. It gushed out of her like a geyser, staining the sheets, walls, and ceiling with its filth. It sprayed on me too, but I couldn't turn away.
私生まれ変わってますか綺麗な私に
綺麗だよ。
進まれ先輩に認めて
A moment later, a misshapen lump of flesh burst forth. An orange light scattered along with the black muck. I found that sight utterly beautiful. What? The black muck blanketing the walls caught fire the second the spark hit it. That went for me too. Amidst the world wreathed in crimson flames, I saw it. Something like black soot spurting from her corpse and formed into the shape of a human. It was a child, with horns like withered branches growing out of her head. What? It looked like something imitating the body she had wished for. Wreathed in crimson flames and clad in cursed black suit was the avatar of the curse, looking up to the ceiling and celebrating its birth. It treaded all over the disfigured corpse that was once Riria. Did you kill Riria? There was no way I could hold a conversation with something inhuman, but my thoughts must have gotten through to it, because it looked right at me and curved its lips into a smirk. I readied my fist. It was the only dedication I could offer before God. When it saw that, the thing started with confusion for a moment, before throwing its head back in laughter. It was pointless. You couldn't strike the moon by hitting its reflection. There was no way you could punch something inhuman in human guise, but I couldn't help to try. I wanted Riria's soul to rest as peacefully as possible. The thing sneered as though it read my thoughts. It shot me a pitying, mocking look, almost as if it were blaming me for this. Had it killed her? Or did I really bear some curse that brought misfortunes to those I approached? Only this thing knew the answer. No, perhaps the other one knew too. What? What other one?